We've decided to find out what happens when an old car meets a new car. We want to find out what a top 5-star safety rating means for the people in here.
And the people in here. It's a simple test. It's a fascinating test. But it's never been done for television before.
We've chosen Renault Espaces because the new one is the real school swat. Of all today's 5-star cars, NCAP rate the Espace as the safest. In fact, they say it's the safest car they've ever tested.
This typical 9-year-old Espace was a good performer in its day, and it's just the sort of thing you see full of families all the time. But exactly how much has the new car moved things on? To find out, we've come to the Motor Industry Research Association's Havoc area, a secret test site in the middle of nowhere used by the military and government. It has £200,000 worth of electric drum winch, a beast that boasts the power of 200 car engines. When we press fire, a network of cables will pull the two cars into one another at 35 miles an hour, guided by a high-tension wire. We're lining them up for the collision the NCAP test is designed to replicate, driver's side to driver's side, just like a real-life head-on smash.
In the cabin are a right pair of dummies. Meet Tiffy and Vic, our stunt stand-ins. Worth £100,000 each, they're wired up to record the G-forces on every part of their bodies. Time to make your predictions and place your bets.
Do you still think they don't make them like they used to, and the new car will tear like tissue?
Or do you think the new car will demolish the old one?
Perhaps you're sceptical and think that the 5 stars are just a marketing ploy and both cars will perform similarly.
Well, don't blink and you won't miss it. To help make sense of the wreckage, we've recruited Crash Engineering Research Chief Richard Morris.
Now, Richard, I first have to say, this is your job, but to me, I'm always shocked by the amount of damage done. And this is just 2 cars at 35 miles an hour going head-to-head. And when this guy's just jammed in, there's no way we can get the door open or anything.
No, I don't think in this particular test that there'll be any reasons to get the driver out, because I think he would be dead. We've had a catastrophic failure of the occupant cabin. It's just total overload there, and again the sill, another major structural part, and that's all just completely disintegrated. The area where his feet were is now roughly where the wheel is, so no, I don't think that would be survivable.
But the torso seems to have gone out of the seatbelt even. The seatbelt hasn't helped him.
That's right, I think the seat has actually gone inboard, and that's why he's partly come out of the seatbelt.
And because the driver was lurching around fire, which meant it was rendered useless.
So, a car that's only 9 years old and yet a lot of damage.
Indeed, yes, not
Whereas
good at all.
the newer model looks at first glances to have fared better. Let's see if we can open the door on this one. No, that's still not going to budge, but looking inside, the driver's feet are still on the pedals, there's no intrusion of the steering wheel, but the airbag hasn't gone off, so that's wrong.
Well, it depends on how the car has determined the severity of the impact. If we look at the front of the car, if I move these parts off here, you can see fairly intact. We've had a little bit of deformation up here.
That's a designed crumple zone.
It is, yes. You can see the features to allow it to crush there. So we believe that the cut a severe enough impact to fire the airbags.
This high-speed footage shows how the red car comes to a much more abrupt stop, with the black car's wheels rolling for longer, indicating a gentler deceleration. All the new Espace felt it had to do to protect its occupants was fire the seatbelt pre-tensioners, evidenced by the cracked plastic at the anchor point and mild chafing on the belt itself.
Presumably this damage wouldn't have been as bad if this car had hit a car of similar age.
Yes, I believe that's true. This car has seen a lot of damage because it's hit a very, very stiff, modern NCAP car. If it had hit a similar car to itself, there'd have been less damage, less injuries, and perhaps the driver would have survived.
So, I mean, it really is a classic double-edged sword.
Yes, I believe it is. And until we see more cars which are highly Euro NCAP star rated, then we'll see this problem as they hit the older cars.
that you can't afford a safe car, then don't worry. A highly rated car in the think. 5-star cars start at around £5,500 for a second-hand Renault Laguna, and the whole that will stand a crash much better than that oh-so-tempting Ion.